Oops. Welcome, everybody. Luis Morales here, health fitness specialist with Exos at Autodesk. Happy Thursday to everybody. It's 2:30 in the afternoon here Pacific time, so
Hey.
to get... What's up, Noel?
What's up, Luis? It's just me and you guys. Huh?
It is. We're about to get started with some stretching, but before we do, if you guys have anything that is feeling a little bit extra tight or feels like it needs a little bit of extra love today, feel free to either say it out loud or drop it in the chat. Whatever you want to do, we can work it into our little routine today. Jazzy already shared with me what she wants going on. So Noel, if you have anything, feel free to share. And if not, we can get right into it.
Besides my back hurting all the time, no, I think we're good.
Back all the time. All right. Well, we'll get into some stuff hopefully that helps with just kind of that whole life that we're living, which is sitting at a desk all the time. All right. So what we're going to start with here today, guys, is standing, and we're going to go ahead and stretch out the back of those shoulders. So let's go ahead and take that right hand. We're going to go ahead and reach across the body with that right arm. So that left arm is going to come out in front of that right arm, hook it in. And we're kind of pulling and hugging that right arm in towards our body. Now here, we might already be feeling something in the back of that shoulder. Make sure that we're not shrugged up, that we're take a deep breath and make sure those shoulders are away from the ears. Make sure you can still breathe in this position. Check in with your hips. Make sure those hips are still under you. And if you want to add a little bit to this stretch, try and take that right shoulder blade and pull it back towards the spine. So we're now kind of pulling the arm away. And then if we pull with that shoulder blade, we should be able to exaggerate that stretch, maybe just a little bit. But we're looking for something kind of comfortable. We don't want it to feel like it's going to tear. So let's just breathe. Let's just hang out here in this position. Stretching out the back of that shoulder. Shoulders definitely got some good work with Jazzy's workout earlier, 21:15:9. Love that stuff. All right, let's do one more big breath here, guys. Big inhale, longer exhale. Nicely done. We can let that left arm go. Slowly
have those burritos.
Slowly let that right arm down. We're going to do the same thing other side here now. So reaching across with that left, bringing the right outside, hooking it in, pulling it in close to our body as close as we can manage, making sure that we're not shrugged, that we're kind of relaxed. And then we can just still breathe in this position, maybe feeling some tightness or some tension towards the outside of that left shoulder. Now remember, if you want to exaggerate this stretch a little bit more, pull that left shoulder blade back towards the spine or back towards the wall behind you while keeping that left arm hooked in. And we're breathing. Good job, guys. Good job. Breathing away that tension here on a Thursday afternoon. We got one more day of the week left, then it's the weekend.
It's my Friday today. So.
All right, Noel, that's great for you. That is great for you, my friend. So 0 more days for Noel this week, ending his week on a relaxing note with some stretching, with some hanging out with the Exos team. All right, you guys, so after this next exhale, we can go ahead and let the arm slowly go. Be gentle with yourself. Don't let it just flop. All right, guys, so next up, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get down onto the ground here, specifically down onto our knees. You guys feel free to grab a pillow or something like that. We're going to hang out with both knees under us here. We're going to open up the chest a little bit. So what we're going to do is interlace those fingers behind our backs. Pretend like those fingers are holding a super heavy kettlebell or something else that's super heavy. So those knuckles are going to be pulled down towards the ground. Arms are straight. And from here, before we really start to stretch the chest, check in where those hips are at. You might need to squeeze those glutes to bring those hips up under you. We might need to stabilize a little bit more through the core and the hips than we usually would, as if we were standing. We then can pull our shoulder blades back, maybe even look up at the ceiling or sky a little bit and start to breathe into that chest. Pulling those shoulder blades back should kind of give us a little bit of a chest stretch here in addition to that breathing. Now, it's okay to arch the back, specifically the upper back, but try not to arch too much. Make sure those tummy muscles are still involved. We're nice and stable through that torso. Knuckles being dragged down. Opening up that chest after a long day sitting at the desk. Good work, everyone. Good work. All right, one more big deep breath, guys. Breathe all the way into that chest. Nicely done. We can slowly now release those hands. Kind of come back to that nice upright position. Well done, everybody. From here, we're going to come down hands and knees now. We're going to get a little bit further into these hips. Let me move this camera down so y'all can see what I'm doing down here. All right, getting further into these hips, you guys. So hands under the shoulders. We're going to spread the knees way out, though. So the knees are not under the hips. The knees are way spread out. As much as you can comfortably manage, play around with this distance here, guys. Everyone is different. What we want to be able to do is rotate our legs so that the arches of our feet, our big toes are pressed into the ground along with the heels. Same thing on the other side. Inside of the foot is kind of flat along the ground. And then from here, we can either stay up on the hands or coming down to the elbows usually creates a little bit of a flatter spine. Now, once we get into this position, what we're going to do is go in and out, pushing those hips back, feeling a really nice internal hip capsule stretch, pushing as far as you comfortably can, and then coming out of it, shifting more weight onto those hands or elbows. And then we're going back in, breathing as we go, trying to link up that exhale with that pushing of the hips back to create that tension through the capsule. Just going in and out here, trying to improve how much that joint can move with some internal rotation here. Good work, guys. Good work. Just going in and out, breathing, doing the best you can. If it feels okay, feel free to push a little bit more each time. You want to stay away from anything that resembles pain. But if that tension is kind of going away, the more that we push, feel free to hang out in it for a sec. Feel free to try and push the envelope a little bit, so to say. Do what feels good for you. All right, you guys, we're going to do one. After this one that we're on right now, we're going to do one more. All right, wherever we're at, let's start this last one. Inhale to prepare, exhale, push back. Hang out in that tension for a sec here. And then bring it on forward. Nicely done, you guys. Okay, so now we can push ourselves up to the hands if you weren't already there. And then try and bring slowly but surely those knees back under us. All right, now we're nice and supported. What we're going to do is end with one of my favorites, the Luis Special, the half kneeling hip flexor stretch. So with one knee down on the ground, one leg out in front to kind of support us, feel free to grab a pillow or a yoga mat, anything that will help make your experience a little more comfortable. We're going to start by engaging that back glute. So I got my right knee on the ground. I'm going to start by engaging my right glute. We're going to tilt the pelvis back here. And from here, you might already be feeling some tension. So you can hang out in this position, or you can start to push the hips forward just a little bit until we find some medium tension in the front of that hip. Now, in order to exaggerate the stretch, we can reach up overhead. We can lean away from that right knee on the ground. But we want to keep that glute squeeze back there really constant. If you keep anything constant during this stretch, it's that glute squeeze back there in order to keep the tension in the front of that hip. So let's see if we can link all these things together and breathe. Feel free to link a combination of them together. Glute squeeze staying constant. And breathing, of course. Good work, guys. Good work. This one's always tense, especially because we're sitting a lot these days. Can never get enough of this one. All right, one more big breath here, you guys. Nicely done. All right, we can bring that arm down, shift our weight back. Now it's time to switch it over to the other side. All right, everybody. So once we find our place on that opposite side knee, we'll go ahead and engage that same side glute. So nice pinch together, squeeze, I should say. We'll tilt the pelvis. From here, you might already be feeling that tension. Push it forward a little bit. We're looking for some medium tension here. And then what we can do is bring that arm up, reach up overhead, reach away from that knee that's on the ground. Whatever we do, we're keeping that glute squeeze nice and constant as we breathe. Wherever you're feeling that tension in the front of the hip, try and breathe into that area. Let that stomach expand. We should feel kind of an uptick in the tension there, and that as we exhale, goes down a little bit. Nicely done, everyone. Keep that glute squeeze. Tap on it if you need to. Check in on it every once in a while. All right, wherever we're at, last breath here. Holding the position, holding that glute squeeze. Nicely done, everyone. All right, we can bring that arm down, shift our weight back. Or you can stay in that position if you want to, if you want the extra hip flexor stretch. I'm not going to stop you, but that is all the time I have left for this stretch break here today. So thank you guys all for joining me. Had a little bit of fun here on Thursday afternoon, aka Noel's Friday. Don't forget don't forget as far as offerings go for the rest of the day. If you're looking for more mobility, I definitely recommend Brittany's class. That's at 4:30 p.m. That has abs and core and mobility.
Nope,
so you'll be getting
that one.
you'll be getting that 6-pack training as well as a little bit more mobility to end the week, whether it's Thursday or Friday for you. And yeah, that I think that's all I have for today here, guys. Stay safe out there.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. Noel has been coming to my